participant is invited to think of any playing card from the deck. As the participant thinks of their playing card, the magician runs his fingers over the flame of a lighter. Two blisters then begin to appear, taking the shape of the participant's thought of playing card. I am Daniel Madison, and this is Infliction.
Hi, I'm Daniel Madison. Welcome to this very special tutorial. This is the best blister revelation. Charlie, did we really call it a blister revelation? It just sounds really dirty, you know, like a scabby revelation. Welcome to Infliction, the best blister revelation that you will ever see or use. I promise you, there are about 100 different variations of this trick out there in the magic world, each one of them offering a different device, gadget or gimmick, external object that you have to bring into play and use and then hide and then lose. This is the only one that removes all devices. Everything is completely self-contained in a deck of playing cards. The magician takes a lighter, burns his fingers, and then shows that the selected playing card or freely thought of playing card has been revealed in scabby, dirty in blisters on his fingers. I'm Daniel Madison. This is Infliction. There's a lot to cover, so we're going to get straight into it. Everything is contained in the deck, and the device itself hides as playing cards at the bottom of the deck, and it only takes up the space of 3 playing cards. I first published this trick in a book called Collateral in 2007. Collateral is now a part of my book Devilry. As a special gift to all my subscribers, I've included the complete original PDF book Collateral from 2008, which includes this trick, Infliction. Just click on the link in the video description. My gift to you as a way of saying thanks for your support, your patronage, your mad love over the years. Now, to simplify this tutorial as much as possible, we're going to start by teaching you exactly what's in the book, teaching you how to build the Two of Hearts device. Then we're going to talk about how you can achieve the same effect with any playing card in the deck. So we're going to take 3 playing cards out of the deck. Now, I will advise that the very bottom playing card of this gimmick that you're going to make, it needs to be a court card, because the court card has a lot of information on it, and when we cut out the shapes of the playing cards that are going to cause the blisters on our fingers, they can hide very easily in all of that information. However, so that you can see everything really clearly, I'm going to choose a playing card with very little information on it. We're going to start with just one of those cards. So I'm going to turn this card face down. So on the top left, on the back of the card just here, I'm going to write a 2 and then a heart shape. These can be no bigger than the flange of fingers 1 and 2. Charlie, is it called the flange? Okay, the flange of fingers 1 and 2, so it can't be any bigger than my fingers. So if I write a 2 near the top corner, now to judge where you're now going to put the heart, hold your fingers on the playing card so that you can judge the distance between those two. So I know the heart's going to be here. If I put my finger down, I know it's a bit further on. You might misjudge this when you're writing on the back of the card. You might want to put it a bit closer. You're always best going a bit further away than you think. So for me, from experience, I know that my heart needs to be here. Next up, you need a cutting board. In my case, don't have one, so I'm just using a piece of wood, and I'm using a craft knife, and I'm just going to chop out the 2 of Hearts. So that's the first card now done, the 2 of Hearts completely cut away. We're going to do the exact same thing with 2 more cards. Holding this card on top of the next card, get a Sharpie and just scribble through the cutout. So now I know exactly what I need to cut out. So I'm going to do that again with the next card, and now I need to do the same thing and cut away both of these 2 of Hearts. I now have 3 cutouts, the 2 of Hearts, and now I'm going to test this by holding all 3 cards to the bottom of the deck, and I'm going to press up with fingers 1 and 2 in position just for 5 seconds. Now we're going to check that 2 of Hearts, and obviously the harder you squeeze the deck and the longer you squeeze it for, the longer those revelations are going to stay there. One of a magician's best friends, some double-sided sticky tape. Stick all these 3 cards together, and with those 3 cards now stuck together, we have a simple single card infliction gimmick. I have a very special corner clipper which I first featured in the Mad System Masterclass, and what I'm going to show you now is something that I teach in great detail in the Mad System Masterclass. There's a link in this video description. This is a 4mm corner clipper, and it's going to cut off the corners of the gimmick this way and then this way. What this does, it has perfectly rounded this corner so that this corner is shorter than the rest of the corners in the deck. Put my 2 of hearts behind the gimmick. Now if I put those cards towards the back of the deck, I'm going to take about 10 playing cards, maybe a few more than 10, put those in place. Now put the rest of the deck on top. In fact, there's an important note. I'm going to put a card on the bottom of the deck too, a King of Diamonds. We're now ready. Now the corner that I clipped off of the gimmick allows me to riffle up the corner, and it naturally stops on the 2 of hearts. I can use this in a few different ways. I can do a flicker force, which I teach in great detail also in the Mad System, similar to a riffle force, where I would do this. I would say I'm going to riffle through the cards and I want you to look inside and just think of one. So then I do this and I say, have you got one? You're thinking of one. This plants that card in their mind. It stood out for a split second more than any other card in the deck. It stays in their mind. Now the beautiful thing about this, from this moment, because I've clipped that corner off while they're thinking of that card, I can simply riffle up secretly with finger 2 in this case to that card and to the gimmick itself. I'm going to casually cut them to the bottom of the deck, and I'm in position to instantly start squeezing. Now they're just thinking of a random playing card. They believe it's a random playing card, and I'm already done. Everything's done. I'm squeezing the revelation. I've squeezed it for long enough now. It is burnt into my fingers. Now I can put the deck down, take the lighter, pretend I burn my fingers, think of the playing card, keep thinking of the playing card. Look what happened, blisters, and then reveal the 2 of hearts. The most beautiful part of this hasn't even happened yet. Most people would think that this is where the trick ends, but as they're reacting to this, and once they've got used to and they've seen the fingers and they've seen the burns, you're going to riffle up the back of the deck with your thumb, the gimmick itself, and then the 2 of hearts, and I'm going to Gambler's Cop. That's right, Charlie. We couldn't get through a video without a Gambler's Cop. I'm going to shift them back into a Gambler's Cop, so they're a bit further back here. Now I'm going to put the deck down, take these away to my pocket, and then I'm going to remember something. I come back, I've managed to ditch the gimmick in my pocket and the thought of playing card, right? So now I've got rid of the evidence and I've got rid of the card that they apparently just thought of. So now we come back to the deck and say, listen, I don't want to freak you out, but I riffled through the cards and you looked inside and you saw a playing card and you said it was the 2 of hearts. The 2 of hearts is the most unlucky playing card in the deck, and because of that, I never have a 2 of hearts in the deck, ever. Now, I'm not even touching the deck. I don't need to touch it or go near it. I can invite them to pick up the deck and look through, and they're going to find that there's no 2 of hearts in the deck, and apparently it was never in the deck. A real, genuine miracle. If you want to take this a step further, get some more double-sided sticky tape, chop. We're going to stick this to the bottom of the face of the 2 of hearts. Now we're going to stick the 2 of hearts in line behind the gimmick, infliction gimmick, to the bottom. So the sticky tape goes to the bottom like so. Now we have an all-inclusive, all-encompassing infliction gimmick that we can simply just add to the top of the deck about 10 cards down in the deck like so. Now when we do the flicker, we get the 2 of hearts. I can riffle up to that gimmick, the whole gimmick, cut it casually to the bottom of the deck, and the whole thing is stuck together as one, so I can just take the whole clump without having to find the gimmick and separation from the 2 of hearts, because they're all together, and just take the whole thing away. Now they can search through the deck and they're not going to find the 2 of hearts. At a push, because the 2 of hearts is hiding behind the gimmick, I could potentially leave it in the deck. So bear in mind, the gimmick is up here. I just have to make sure that when I spread the deck, when they're looking for the 2 of hearts, that I spread it the other way. So I'm going to put this to the bottom like so. So it's now down here. Now I can spread and show that the 2 of hearts is gone because it's hiding behind the gimmick. I wouldn't do this personally. I would always take that out of the deck because I love the idea that I can hand them this deck and they can inspect it to their heart's content and find absolutely nothing. Now, a few things. I mentioned applying this creating your infliction gimmick from a King of Diamonds or a court card. This could be seen by chance. It's very kind of obvious, but if you do this on a court card, then that information is going to blend in with all the artwork and you're not going to see the cutout, especially when you make the version of this which allows you to do this with more than one playing card. Now just look at this, and I'm going to do this on the front just to make it clear, just so that you can see exactly what we're dealing with. So let's start with the 2 of hearts that we already have. So we'd have a 2 and a heart, then we would have a 3 and a diamond, a 5 and a spade, a 7 of clubs. Now next to the heart I can put a jack, and then next to the diamonds I can put a king. So now we have all of the cards that don't have circle cutouts, the 6, the 9, the 10, the queen, etc., giving us a total of 24 possible revelations, all hidden on one infliction gimmick. I'm very conscious of time, so I'm not going to cut all of these out, but I do want to show you how we would get around the queen or the 9 or the 6 with that cutout. So let's try the 9 of clubs, because clubs is also a very difficult shape to cut out, but once you understand the right cutting procedure, it's actually one of the most prominent and one of the most visual revelations that you can have as a blister. So let's draw on the back of this card a 9 of clubs. So I'm now going to chop this out. So in this case, I've cut out the 9 of clubs twice, just to put it to the test. Flat on the surface, press down, fingers 1 and 2. And that's looking good so far. We need to get that middle circle of the 9 in there, and the way that we do this, get another playing card, we're going to stick it to the back of these, and this is something that you might want to do with your gimmick anyway, so that it can be hidden completely from the back. In the case of the 2 of hearts, you can see that from both sides, but if we simply stick a card to the back of it, then we can hide it from the back and it's only visible from the front. When I cut the club out of this card, I cut out 3 small circles and I've kept a bunch of them here. I'm now going to stick 2 of those circles together to these little dots, and I'm going to stick them directly in the middle of the 9 so that we get that solid 9. So this is going to be a bit finicky. So I choose 2 that are relatively the same size. I've got one right on the corner of the sticky tape there. Peel that tape off the back. Then I'm going to stick another one directly on the other side of it. I'm going to cut around it, but I'm going to leave a little bit of that tape. And I'm going to fold that tape over so that I have a dot made up of 2 layers of playing card with sticky tape on the back. I'm going to carefully put it in the middle of the 9. So now you can see I have that dot inside the 9 that will leave an imprint on my fingers. Put it to the test, push both fingers down, and now we have a perfect 9 of clubs reveal on fingers 1 and 2. And so if we apply all these techniques and all these ideas to one gimmick playing card, we can have every single playing card cut out of an infliction gimmick. Remember, we only have to put the hearts, diamonds, spades, club in there once. It might make sense to put them all the way to this end so that you can have all the numbers here. I would advise, don't do the ace. You don't need to do the ace. When you ask somebody to name a playing card, if they name the ace of spades, it's always a good idea to say, no, that's too obvious. That's like anybody would have named that card. Name a difficult playing card. Now, I am going to create one of those full deck infliction gimmicks, but I'm only going to share that with the Alliance over at Madison.ist. So if you want to see it, come and join us, Madison.ist. I do want to point out, credit and acknowledge Michael Weber at this point. In 2007, when I wrote the book Collateral, published in 2008, got an email from Michael saying that there was a striking similarity between infliction and something that he had produced. They are quite different. They achieve the same thing in a different way. Now, I don't want to give up his method, but if you imagine the complete opposite of this, incredible work, just by chance these things happen. And if you look at my acknowledgement credit section in this video. In all my videos, you'll see the same description. Michael Weber is amazing. Go check out all of his things. I'll leave a few links to his websites in this video descriptions and where you can find his books. Stay close for more tutorials like this one. I'll be back soon. I'm Daniel Madison. This was Infliction. See you next time.